Welcome to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
Wipeout.
I'm pretty sure that's not the Beach Boys, but
No, it is. It is.
it's of the same ilk.
Because the Beach Boys, they're talking about the time they were at the beach and the bass player wiped out. And then the rest of the band, because the rest of the band kind of fucking hated him, and they're like,
Right.
Wipeout.
What was the name of the bass player?
Mike Love.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Everybody does hate him, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They laughed when he fucking ate shit.
Fucking piece of shit.
Everybody said, Wipeout.
Did one of them have to eat feces off of carpet or something? Is there a famous, like...
I mean, Brian Wilson lost his mind.
He didn't have to. He just got to.
Brian Wilson was the bass player.
Oh.
Damn.
Oh.
Is that the first and last band where the most talented musician was the bass player?
I feel like in the early versions of Beach Boys, he was the bass player. I may be wrong about that, though.
I thought he was the theremin player.
It's on that one song.
You mean Good Vibrations? The hit that prolonged their career?
Yeah, that's when they started sucking. They started sucking when they started writing songs that weren't about wiping out.
How did the theremin in that song go, Mike?
There's only one way a theremin goes.
I believe.
That's it. Yep.
Close enough. Welcome to the International News Service. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with...
I'm Brian Camp.
I'm Michael Wiebe.
Mark Ryan.
Right here.
We're doing a more understated
I
episode.
didn't realize
like this.
everybody was
more.
too cool to be on our podcast.
This is a serious look at the news this week.
Yes.
We're kind of doing a little bit more of a NPR style.
Oh.
A little bit of a relaxed look at the news.
It's a real pleasure to be here with all of you this week.
It is
When
too.
It's
You
fun
know-
to talk about the Beach Boys. Do you remember the Beach Boys, Mark?
I do. They were very influential on my musical career.
The Beach Boys were the first
There's-
live act I ever saw.
Oh, wow. Did you see him at a baseball game?
I saw them after a Cleveland Indians game.
There you go. And I think that's why everybody hates Mike Love. I think that eventuality, it ties into the Mike Love hate.
Now,
Mark, I want to believe desperately that you are heavily influenced by the Beach Boys and their early a cappella stylings.
Yes.
Is it a cappella if there's any instrument at all?
That's,
Or is it something else?
Acapella is no instruments.
yeah.
Okay. So even though they did a lot of singing as though it was a cappella, as soon as...
That was just harmonies.
Now you're trying to make me look stupid, and you did it successfully.
Good job, Mark.
That was a real gut punch from Mark. There's harmonies, dipshit. Oh, well, okay.
I mean, you were asking.
No,
Beach
I
Boys.
did. I made the mistake. It's my fault.
the Beach Boys
Uh-huh.
were named that because they're all brothers,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and they all had natural childbirths on the beach by their mother.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the term sandy blonde comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because she got sand in her vagina,
Why did so many of them have different last names?
and she
They were
complained.
brothers.
Well, they had different fathers.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Were they beach births?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
They all
really hard
came
to
out-
say.
They all came out feet first, and they did have a lot of people don't know this. They had a number of haters back in the day. Some of the other
Right.
bands like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones hated them, and they would always refer to them as the Biatch Boys.
Wow.
And that's actually what drove Brian Wilson insane, because they'd like just prank call him all the time and go like, "What's up, Biatch boy?"
Which Beatle and or Rolling Stone was that?
Was that your British accent?
No, that was Paul McCartney's British accent.
Oh, okay.
Which here's the thing too about that guy. Pretty sure he's faking that accent.
He was born in the States, right?
I'm the only one that talks like this. That's not how British people talk.
How do they talk?
If he's really British, he would be like, Beatles.
Every Beatles song is immensely better if it's sung in that with that voice.
Oi, yesterday, my shit was four-way. I remember yesterday.
So this week, we have a news story and kind of an arts and culture story, I guess. It's kind of more of a lifestyle story. I'll let you guys decide. And I realized when practicing this, all our stories this week are set in the United Kingdom.
Oh my God.
No, they all just turned it off when you insulted Sir Paul, too. It's awful.
That's crazy. Because I was already, I don't know if you guys remember, but not 30, 40 minutes ago, or however long ago it was, I was just talking about British people and how they attacked the Beach Boys.
You mean
Remember
45
that?
seconds ago?
We should edit out that intervening 25 minutes so it sounds like it just happened. It'd be a much better connection.
Oh,
and you, the audience, you're not missing much. I was mostly giving financial advice to the rest of the fellas and workout tips.
Right. Long story short, invest in Xerox now.
They need to strip away his knighthood.
They
for his
do.
fake accent?
Yeah.
Oh, Paul,
I think that's
Paul
Because
McCartney.
he's American.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from the San Fernando Valley. Look at his haircut.
Right. Wasn't he was an original member of the Beach Boys. That's where the hate comes from.
That's why they kicked him out.
Right.
Well, because he couldn't surf. He was really bad at surfing.
Okay.
He got out of the water. He fucking ate shit, and they all go, ha 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 ha, wipe out. And he got all mad about it and fucking ran off. The rest of the Beach Boys were like, you got me.
I hope there's some really serious people about music right now that are really angry at your stupidity. They're like seriously mad at all the things wrong that have just happened in the last 30
There's
seconds.
nothing wrong. I mean, it just a lot of times, people like to gloss over certain historical facts. Like when people become iconic, we kind of look over a whole lot of weird shit that happened in their up and coming years. And listen, I'm not trying to destroy anyone's idols, but I'm also not trying to go worship them either, because I don't worship golden idols.
Mm-hmm.
So our first story comes to us from the Daily Record, which is a Scottish newspaper.
Oh, this is going to have a real mean slant to it, I bet.
Yeah.
Really, we only have one topic that we cover when we go to Scotland. I just want to point that out. So
Haggis.
we've never discussed haggis on the show before.
Our ancient clans, our historical clan names.
We've talked about the Loch. That was great. We've talked about the Loch Ness. We've talked about the Loch Ness monster on the show before, and
You sure have.
I think you guys are fans, right?
I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of that joyless mathematician who tried to claim they're all eels.
Right.
Oh,
I'm not a fan of that guy.
Doing math. My math says that they're eels.
Yeah.
I'm an egghead.
So the Loch Ness Centre is what it sounds like. It's a center for visitors to Loch Ness, and it's about
An eel belly.
what?
What?
I said eel belly. Just continue.
Eel belly.
All right. The Loch Ness Centre is what it sounds like. It's a center for visitors to Loch Ness, and it's about to reopen following a major renovation. As part of the center's upgrade, it's now hiring for a new staff position, namely Nessie's #1 fan. So it wasn't super clear what role Nessie's #1 fan will have, but the article did say they'd get to be the first person to take the center's new 1-hour tour, which is a, quote, truly immersive experience, allowing guests to become part of the story and delve deeper into the real story. of Loch Ness.
Ooh, does it involve submarines?
It doesn't say that it doesn't involve submarines.
Is there a diorama?
I'm sure there's. It did say that the tour involved 7 rooms.
That's a good quiz. 7 shoeboxes on their side.
Yeah, so I imagine there must be at least one diorama.
One diorama in each room.
Ooh,
That's great.
maybe each
I would
room
like
is
that.
a life-sized
I
diorama.
hope there's a big picture, and then there's a big red button, and you push the button, and it goes,
This is where Nessie was first sighted.
I mean, they'd probably say it with a Scottish accent.
no, because they want people to understand it.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Take that, Scotland.
So the center's CEO said, quote, "The right candidate will receive a generous salary and benefits package, along with the unique opportunity to engage with audiences from around the world and share Scotland's legendary history with them. Perks also include vacation, a pension, and a discount at the visitors center."
Ooh.
That's a great job.
Does it say how much the discount is?
No, it didn't say.
Well,
Can you apply online?
I mean, you're not Scottish citizens, so I don't think that you could apply and get the job.
I didn't know there were such xenophobes in Scotland.
Yeah. What if I got dual citizenship?
Ah,
What if I defect?
I think you can defect to Scotland.
Why not?
I think you defect to like
I
Russia.
defect.
sanctuary.
Or China.
Sanctuary.
I'm going to defect. If I
Do it.
defect to Scotland, what though?
You can try.
I defect.
I mean, you have to defect to the UK. You can't really defect just to Scotland.
Scotland. I go over
You
there
can
and I
defect
say,
however
all you
you
got to do
want.
is go over there and say, I
Uh-huh.
defect, I defect, I defect. And you're automatically, it's called a poor man's defection.
I've read that somewhere. That sounds right.
Mhm.
I don't think that's correct at all.
It is. And that's because honestly, that's how fucking, that's how Paul McCartney got to be a British citizen.
By
Mhm.
defecting to Scotland.
No, he went to Britain, but it's the same principles. He just
I
went over
see.
there and goes, "Hey man, I defect, I defect, I defect." And they're like, "Well, you're gonna need to change up your accent." And he was like,
Okay, I'll just do it like this.
Mhm. I'll just have a
Oh,
few minutes fake accent. You're right, Mike. That's
Wow.
the story as old
"What
as
other
time.
dude have you ever heard that talks like that?" This is where he fucking watched The Swedish Chef and got confused and just kind of like took a little bit of that. Oh,
I mean, I don't think they had this.
sweet, I heard. Oh, hey, look, I'm Paul McCartney.
it's the same shit, except for he's using words instead of the Swedish Chef just is speaking in fluent Swedish.
I mean, the Swedish Chef didn't appear until 1975. And I think Paul McCartney.
No, he wasn't filmed until 1975.
Oh, I
There was
see.
the live show.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Go look online where Jim Henson's from, and when it says California,
He's from Greenville, Mississippi.
Well, he was born there.
he
Yeah.
moved to California. He moved to California
Right. Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
He went to the
Yeah.
California embassy and yelled, "I defect, I
I
defect, I
don't
defect."
think they
Yep.
have an embassy.
I do enjoy imagining a world where people just start rampantly running into government buildings, screaming, "I defect" 3 times in a row, and waiting for something to happen, like a full backpack on.
Yeah.
I defect. I
Man,
defect,
is there any way
I
we
defect.
could convince the sovereign citizens movement that was a thing?
You probably don't want to be involved with convincing them of doing anything. At least I think that's a.
it's probably a
mistake.
jailable. Even if it's like, hey, why don't you have some Jello with your lunch? For dessert. You're going to end up in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'll think that it somehow is a revocation of the status it was placed on them, or of the house of something. Crazy people.
So our next story comes to us from Metro, which is a UK. It's like a tabloid, but I think they just do scan. I think it's more like they don't make stuff up. They're kind of sleazy.
I used to get their cards when I was in New York to go on the subway.
Yeah, it's a different Metro.
It's a
Don't think so.
subsidiary.
But
Yeah.
They're both paper. They're both on paper.
Touche, Kevin.
This story in particular, I think that it might make Michael insane. I just want to point that out before we get through here. That's my prediction for this story, and we'll see what happens.
I thought that the thing that would make me insane is that my mother smoked pot every day when she was pregnant with me.
Michael, that's not nice.
No, it wasn't nice. She really should have kept clean.
It explains a lot, and it's not nice.
Yes.
Wait, who is it not nice? Is it not nice for her to do or for him to point out that she did?
I don't know. I don't think it's very nice.
It's a melange of both.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of pregnant listeners getting stoned right now. I don't know that we need to make them feel bad about themselves.
Well, just
isn't that
do
one
it
of our
on
markets?
weekends.
Isn't that one of our niches? Is the,
Yeah.
Pregnant stoners.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, like, yeah. I mean, in industry talk, when we're looking at demos, we call them poppin' mamas.
I'm almost positive you and I both saw that porno at the same time.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god!
Poppin' mamas ready to drop. The real motherfuckers.
Oh no! I want to apologize to both the listener and Michael's mother.
Whoa, what's the implication there?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
yeah, that's not. I've watched a lot of movies that have things in them that I haven't done.
Faces of Death, as covered in a
Spartacus.
Get to Know Your podcast. You have cracked open a monkey skull, but you've never eaten the brains.
I never ate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
A Few Good Men. I've never been involved in a military tribunal
yet. So last month, a UK man sat down at a McDonald's to enjoy his meal when a staff member told him he needed to leave. When he asked why, she replied, "No shoes, no shirt, no service." The man...
Wait. That's weird. No shoes, no shoot. Wait, was it no shoes, no shirt,
You're right.
no cervix?
Service
What does that even mean?
means if you're not wearing a shoe, if you're not wearing shoes,
If you're not wearing shoes or a shirt, then it means you're not allowed to have a cervix?
Different world across the pond.
That doesn't
Different
even
world.
make sense. Like, it just means that they're going to rip out your fucking, well, I don't even know what that you call that area, your inside butthole skeleton.
No.
That's what cervix is. It's your butthole skeleton.
Oh, man.
It's the skeleton of your butthole.
So the man who was not wearing shoes protested by saying he was sitting
Apparently, I guess, like in a wheelchair or something, because I even fucking, you don't stand if you don't have a cervix. It's just gonna be all blobby. It's gonna be like a weird kind of fucking, I don't know, paramecium. How did that even work? So he's got regular legs with bones in them, and then he's got a spine, and then it's just like this blobby mass.
Yes.
Do the muscles even work that well?
Are you calling the pelvis the butthole skeleton?
It's the skeleton of the butthole.
So the man who is not wearing shoes protested by saying he was sitting next to the play area, which is often full of barefooted children, but he said the staff still kicked him out. Apparently, the man's wife died in 2013, and since then, he has dedicated himself to never wearing shoes. He said he's even run 20 marathons and at least one half marathon barefoot. The man said he's gotten mixed responses for his barefoot lifestyle in the past. Quote, "Some are completely horrified and don't understand it. Other people fully support it and say they wish they had the courage and freedom to do it." A spokesperson for McDonald's said their team, quote, informed the customer that for his own safety and for the comfort of other diners, all customers are asked to wear footwear in the restaurant. When he refused, the customer was allowed to remain for this occasion and finish his food before leaving, which is not what he said, but whatever.
Well, I hate him.
Yeah, I saw that
I don't
coming.
like him.
Why do you hate him?
I don't. Come on. It's time for shoes, everybody. It's time for shoes. If you're not
Yes.
at a public gym, like a bathroom at a gym,
Okay.
or a public pool, there's no reason for public flip flops.
What about the beach?
Let me think about it.
Well, he's not wearing flip flops though. He's just not wearing. He's not wearing.
Well,
he's barefoot.
we haven't even got to bare feet yet.
Okay.
The beach, I guess. Yeah, I guess the beach is acceptable flip flop. Maybe a luau themed party. If there's tiki drinks there.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this, Mike. In your home, right? And this is, and for the international listener, I don't know what your customs are, but in the States, there's kind of a stratified view of wearing shoes indoors. Typically, people up north do not wear their shoes indoors. They have mudrooms because they collect lots of stuff on their feet. And the further south you get, you're more likely to find people that do wear their shoes indoors. Now,
you
Mike,
there's no mud in the south?
There is mud, but taking your shoes off when you go inside is not something that is commonly done in the South.
Okay.
Some people do, but it's not as common. And one, Mike, do you take your shoes off? And if you do take your shoes off, are you a socks at all times in the house person? Meaning you get out of the shower and you put on a pair of socks and you prefer other people to before you walk around your home.
I wear my socks into the shower.
I believe that answers my and the listeners' questions. Thank you.
And then I sit down on the edge of the tub.
Yes.
And I pull out a hairdryer and I dry them on my feet. Because I don't like to walk around in wet socks.
Well, he does. He makes a good point there that walking around in wet socks is the worst.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shoes right now.
I bet your feet are so soft. Do you have supple feet? Could you describe your feet to the listener?
No.
We might have some listeners who are
part
very
of the problem
interested.
is I'm not like a foot weirdo. I'm no Quentin Tarantino over here.
Hey, we're recording this on his 60th birthday. Go ahead.
Happy birthday, Big T. I call him QT.
Oh,
what is that? Like the gas station?
No, it's that I think he's cute. I think he's a little stinker.
The conversation heart you send them.
I don't want to see. We see feet far too much than we should in public. So in the home, do whatever you want in your home. You weird freaks, get into your freaky foot stuff. I don't care. But in public, which is what this guy's doing,
right? Mere feet away from where people are preparing food for other people,
and where people are having vision,
near children,
near where people are consuming food.
Here's what I think. I've talked about seeing people with flip-flops driving on motor scooters and how disturbing that is.
Yeah.
And what I want to happen if that, and for a quick recap, it's to a long story short, they lose a toe doing a hard turn and then have to scramble around a four-way intersection looking for their ripped off toe in the hot summer sun where it burns their stupid bottoms of their stupid feet.
Like the tar comes off on their feet. It's so hot.
Yeah, it's so hot.
That's good.
And that's what you get for not wearing shoes when you drive your motor scooter, because you think it's a bad motor scooter, but it's not.
Does it seem like the British have lots of cartoons with giant feet in them?
Name one.
I don't know. All of them.
The Hobbit.
There you go.
Monty Python. There's definitely a lot of.
Yeah.
So they've all got a foot thing. So maybe this isn't as unusual in the UK.
Danger Mouse.
I bet it's
Danger
much colder.
Mouse had big foot, big feet. So did Penfold.
True. It's much colder and damper there, though.
The mole, very good.
Penfold is sidekick Mole.
Yeah.
And bronze winner of the Penfold lookalike contest. A joke I remember them saying at the beginning of the cartoon. What?
Strong cartoon. Yeah.
They go, it was a joke. It was a funny joke. They go, hey, and down on the street, here's Danger Mouse and his sidekick Penfold, bronze winner of the Penfold lookalike contest. And I thought it was so funny. I was like, I'm going to remember that joke. I'm going to fucking file that away in my brain as opposed to people's names. I'm dear friends' birthdays.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't
every
gotten a card for you from you in like
to
12
all my
years.
financial institutions. Oh, what else? My license plate number of my car.
Mhm. Probably where your wallet is right now.
Yep. Let me hold on. Checking my. Yes. I have no
Nope.
idea. A myriad of important things have been replaced for the joke. And here's Penfold, bronze winner of the Penfold lookalike contest.
It's a
From
good joke.
That I honestly don't. I mean, I know Danger Mouse was a spy mouse,
Right.
and Penfold was his nebbish friend, and I have no recollection of any other thing in that entire cartoon series. And that it was British, and that I appreciated that.
They're always trying to thwart that. The mean frog was the big bad guy.
I didn't even remember what the bad guy was.
I forget his name.
You don't remember.
It's like
I mostly remember the ads for it more than the cartoon.
Theme song was good. Sung by Sir Paul McCartney.
Danger Mouse. Powerhouse. He's the strongest, he's the quickest, he's the best.
Let me ask you guys something. If you were this McDonald's manager and this guy came into your store with his
Time to lean, time to clean.
well, right, you're running a tight ship there at McDonald's.
A real Ray Kroc type.
Yeah. Michael Keaton.
Really ripping some people off while you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. You call this a Big Mac, you piece of shit? That's the way I'd manage.
This guy comes in with, wearing no shoes with 3 inches of callus on
Get the fuck out of my restaurant.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Leave. Sir, leave. Now.
What do those feet look like? Does he have fungal stuff on it?
Again, he's run 20 marathons this way. He never wears shoes.
He says he's run 20 marathons this way.
And he's eating at McDonald's. Come on.
He's eating at McDonald's. Yeah.
And he knows the kids are there all the time.
McDonald's.
Yeah, he's no. I'm starting to think the Metro may not be the most trustworthy source of information.
What?
Yeah. I'm starting to think that, this guy is so burnt up out of his wife.
Uh-huh.
And then he's up in McDonald's throwing a fit over not getting a Star Trek 3 commemorative glass.
Right. I have a question.
Yes.
I feel like, and I want to see if you guys agree with this. I feel like if you lose a spouse, you can dedicate your life to vengeance if it's called for.
Well, that's the John Wick path. Yes.
But if you start having like a bit about it, you can't 10 years later. It's like you're kind of like trading on the death of your spouse to not wear shoes at some point, right? It's not really. And you've learned that if you couch everything in terms of, well, my wife died, that people are going to let you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's 10 years.
Right.
I mean, that's a tragedy. I'm sorry. It sucks. But unless you're still hunting down the real killer, then I think you got to put shoes on.
What about this guy's wife? How's this play into it?
she got a blood clot from wearing shoes.
What scenario is it that it quantifies no shoes? Like, I get it if I'm never gonna ever take the bracelet off that she gave me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Necklace, I'll never remove the necklace, or I'm going to, every night look up at the moon and sing the song from Five Goes West.
How does that go? What's the song?
Somewhere out there around the great
wow, it's beautiful.
I'm thinking about you somewhere out there, out where dreams come true.
I was transported to a animated masterpiece. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, I believe that was maybe just American Tail.
Yeah.
And then American Tail Part 2 is Five-O Grows West. And American Tail 3 is Five-O Grows Breasts. And that one is NSFW.
The pride. Your boy.
That joke is from a junior high. And I don't think I wrote it. I think that was a Possibly a Ben Johnson original.
Former
Shout out
guest.
to Ben Johnson.
What's up, Ben?
So that wraps up another week in the International News Service. Find us across social media at International News Pod. Email us at internationalnewspod@gmail.com. Mike insists that all of our listeners wear shoes while listening to INS, but Brian and I, we just hope you're wearing pants. Check out the INS merch store at Redbubble and our Patreon, and don't forget to check out our subreddit at r/INSpod. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the International News Service. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. INS, the news you need.